Greetings, everyone. I'm going to go over the trial lab part of your cooking lab project. So no matter which project you chose of the four, you still have to do a trial lab so we can gauge where your skills are and what you are actually capable of doing. So to gauge your understanding of kitchen work and recipes, you will choose one of the recipes to modify, request ingredients, make the recipe, and record your results. The recipe you select should be attainable for your skill level with no help from a parent. So your parent shouldn't be helping you with this recipe at all. It should be whatever you think you are comfortable preparing, and I've given you a great assortment of recipes to choose from, so you can choose whatever works best for you. So one of your recipe options, you have this recipe book right here. This is my recipe book of recipes that we normally make in FCS. So if you look at this, we've got several choices here. You have the chocolate chip cookie recipe is in here, but please do not make that for this trial lab. You already should have completed chocolate chip cookies, so this is not a choice. Then you've got pancakes, different varieties of pancakes. These are scratch pancakes, not from a box. So you've got to follow the recipe really closely to make sure to make that. You got 4 different varieties. You've got breakfast burrito. You have an omelet. You have spaghetti sauce with pasta and garlic bread, or broccoli chicken Alfredo with fettuccine noodles. So those are options, and you pick whatever you feel like your skill level is. Then you've got pizza with making a homemade pizza sauce and overnight dough. If you think you can handle making something with yeast, you're going to do that. And then you've got Mexican vegetarian recipes. So if you click on this, we've got a bunch of different recipes that are Mexican inspired, and they're all vegetarian, meaning they don't have any meat in them, but you're learning how to make rice and beans specifically, which does have some help if you need help with that. So it's basically whatever you feel comfortable doing. You're going to select one of the recipes. If you'd like a paper version of the recipes, just let me know. You can request that, and I will give you a paper version of the recipe. You're going to modify the recipe to make a quarter to a half amount. Okay, so you're either dividing the recipe in half or dividing it into a quarter. If you request groceries from Mrs. W, you have to do a quarter of the recipe. You can't do a full recipe in my lab. If you make this at home, it's up to you and your family, whatever you feel comfortable doing, or you can get the quantities for grocery shopping. Request groceries and a date to work in the lab space as for FCS as a private comment if you need to. If you're going to make this at home, then you're going to skip this step. You're going to complete the lab, make the recipe, record yourself on the flip grid. Remember, you are capped at 10 minutes. So you're going through and creating and preparing your trial lab. Show as many aspects as you can, specifically skills that you are learning while you're actually making the recipes. This includes your mise en place, which if you don't know what mise en place is, go back to your vocab and find out what that means, all the way to your created meal, hopefully for people enjoying what you've made. Please record yourself as you complete the lab. This is also, if you are going to complete this in the FCS classroom, you should still be recording yourself. You're limited to 10 minutes, so pause when you need to. How to complete the food snap part. So at the end, you should be doing an evaluation of your food. In the selfie at the end, either take a picture of you and your family with your food, or at very least a picture of your food. Discuss the taste and texture, show the appearance, add one new thing you learned while preparing. What would you like to change about the food, or what you did, and one question you have about this lab skill. Then you're going to take all of this information and you're going to upload your video and write a reflection on how the recipe came out to your UA portfolio. So you should have a page on your PE portfolio that is strictly for FCS, and on that page you're going to put in trial lab, and you're going to add pictures of what you made. You're going to upload your video that you did. You're going to talk about what you learned. What do you need to learn for the next lab attempt? So what skills you need to practice or get better at? What can you do to improve your lab? Or how could you improve this lab? And then add, like I said, your video and your selfie to your portfolio. So you want to add pictures and show off what you did in that trial lab. Do the flip grid to be assessed on your skills, and I can give you feedback on how you did. But basically, you're picking a recipe, you're modifying it, you're creating it. If you have to use the FCS classroom, then you need to request groceries and a date to work, which I will go over in a later video how to do that. And then you're going to send this in, and that counts as the first part of this project. And you should take about a week to get this done. Thanks, everybody.